Oh, yeah, good. It
It
says
says it's recording.
yeah, beautiful. Okay, good. So now we just let Aaron and Joe get back on. All right, Joe's on. Just can't see him yet. So okay, so we're recording. So anyway, welcome everybody to the Referral Challenge Q&A Mastermind call for Friday, June 16th. Just a quick update. We're waiting for Aaron to join us, but a quick update. This afternoon, I'll be putting out the first part of the Habit Maker charity challenge, which I'm very excited about. A lot has gone into it, and hoping that you guys will be as excited as we are when you see it all. It's pretty cool stuff. So that's all I've got in terms of updates. So let's just jump right into it. Oh, good. Rick's here too. All right. Hey, Rick. So Joe, I haven't seen you in a while. You and I had a brief text communication, which I was a little slow on the uptake with, but just give us an update on how you're doing and what's new, what's going on, and anything we can help you with.
Yeah, everything's going really well with us. We're now up to full staff as far as trainers go. So since joining, the group here, I had 2 part-time trainers, but now I have 2 full-time trainers in addition to those 2 part-time trainers. So that's going really well, and I'm just streamlining things and kind of redefining the org chart and making one of the trainers a lead manager, which I'm training her for. And so we're moving forward, and now we're we had a good influx of clients from when we did the charity challenge a while ago, which worked really well for us through using the tools that you mentioned. So that was fantastic. And so now I'm just, we're anxious to see what else there is. And I have to play a lot of catch up. I've missed a ton, which is totally my fault for good reason, but still we missed a ton. So I'm behind more than I should be. But then I reached out and, was wondering what was going on with the local by leverage referral site, because that sounds awesome, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, that's fantastic, and that is next week for sure. We're finally getting caught up. As I mentioned, Habit Maker's coming out this afternoon. Then Local by Referral will be completed next week, and so we will be officially caught up. Aaron is also in the process of building out the SOP for the client retention and lifetime value maximization based on that awesome thread that Adrian Shire started a couple months ago in the Facebook group, which is really just tremendous. Aaron, when you printed it out, how long was that thread?
That thread, 12-point font, was 14 pages long.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of content in there. And so Aaron's working on, well, Aaron, do you want to just describe briefly what you're doing with that?
Okay. Did you get a chance at all, may I ask, to see what I sent over?
I did not, but I just figured if you could just give them a thumbnail overview of what you're doing.
All right. Well, I'm creating 3 different supplementary tools to go with this thing, and they're beasts. They're big. And let me just share this screen real quick, and I'll kind of give you a quick hint of one of those that I've just pretty much put the final touches on. But this is we are brand commitment matrix, building a business around your members instead of finding members for the business you've built. All right. So for deeper relationships, longer lasting memberships, and increased profits. So this is a brute of a project, but and I'll do a whole video series, so I'm not going to do about it here. But ultimately, you can see the depth of this thing. And so here's the crux of it. You have customers, you have a company. On your customer side, you know who they are, what they want, and how they belong. So this is their identity. I am, right? Identity, ambitions, meaning. Over on the other side, you've got the company, why we exist, right? Exclusivity, or what we offer, and responsibility, or how we behave. So why we exist, what we offer, and how we behave. And so in here, then I kind of create an example, flesh out, for example, a 50 to 59-year-old female's mental state, right? So in her mind's eye, she sees herself, as she has for decades, a nurturer of others, an object of desire, a strong, smart woman, or capable woman. But her delusions are rudely shattered when the body she sees in the mirror belongs to a stranger, right? And so we walk you step by step through her mental step, right? What she sees herself when she's not looking in the mirror, what she sees herself when she's looking in the mirror, and then how we as a company, how we belong, or how we help this mental state.
Yeah.
So this goes across, right? Her identity and why we exist, her ambitions and how we exclusively fit into those ambitions, and her search for meaning and our responsibility to help her find it. Right. And so then I'll provide these charts, which will ultimately, this is designed as a group team membership exercise. So you get all your staff, you'll get your trainers, you get your admin, you'll get anybody that works for you on any level participating in this. And you're going to choose a gender, you're going to choose an age group based on decade, and then you're going to have everybody fill this out, because you never know where gold's coming from, right? And so this is tool number 1 of 3 that I'm building out. So the other two have to do with how to create, based on the thread that what we're talking about, how we'll create a member mentorship program, and how I accidentally, inadvertently created a membership program in the last gym that I opened called Gauntlet Kickboxing. And how we created this whole complete, if you've not been to Gauntlet Fit, then you've not seen the most unique piece of kickboxing equipment on this planet. And, I designed it. So we have 16 stations in there, and, it's crowded, it's tight, and there's one person on the floor. So what I did was I recruited about 4 or 5 people and asked them just to help me, of my members. And so I'm fleshing out a membership mentoring program to help you guys take, if you're inundated with too many clients at any given time, then you can take members that you get and help them mentor new oncoming members. And not only will that help you with keeping up with names, but it also helped in the process of bonding the community. And then finally, the last piece is how to keep up with members' names. Because, when you have, during the busy season, you have people coming in through the door at all times. How do you ever remember people's names? And here's the solution that I'm fleshing out. It's a flashback to the old Polaroid camera. Take a dang Polaroid, you take a picture, a headshot, right? And you write their name on the bottom of the white strip. And then you create a lovely display. It can either be on a wall, you can put it in a frame, you can take a string and paper clip them up. You can do anything you want to do, and I'll provide several examples. But then you just, when a new person comes in, you rotate them like the stars on the flag. You rotate them to the left. So the new oncoming people are on the left. Everybody else falls in like flags, the stripes on the flag to the right. And after 30 days, they're off, right? But that same thing happens with birthdays, anniversaries, and anniversaries of being at your facility for a year. And so your trainers are on the floor, a new person's coming through the door. What's your name? And he can quickly look at this board and go, Sally, how you doing? Right? Because ultimately it boils down to this. These people are paying you for a relationship. And how do they feel when you can't even remember their name?
Yeah, no, that's huge. That sounds beautiful. It's exciting, and it's a tremendous way to do social proof as well, and member love, client love, all that stuff. And the diagram that you showed earlier, the I am, we are, love that. And it's interesting how it illustrates the relationship, because that's what it is. It's how you relate, how your business relates to the member and how they relate to you. And so it illustrates that. So that'll be very, very cool. Looking forward to that. And again, Adrian, I don't know if you missed this, but this is all based off of that thread that you started about client retention and a lifetime value. So this is Aaron's turning that into an SOP. All right, so thanks for sharing that, Aaron. That's cool stuff, and that's exciting. And Joe, back to you now. We just got off on a little bit of a tangent, but what I wanted to tell you is, number one, local by referral, as I mentioned, next week. Habit Maker's coming out today, so you're going to have plenty of stuff to do. But in terms of falling a little bit behind or whatever, everybody. I just got a Facebook message from Mike Stair, who's in the group. Great guy, longtime customer, and really solid business owner. Who's said the same thing. He's like, man, I'm just trying to keep up, and I'm falling behind, blah, blah, blah. Same with Clint Howard. I've gotten a lot of those messages. There's a lot of stuff, people, and you just got to consume it at your pace. But what we're happy about is that you're here on the call, you haven't lost engagement, you're not dissatisfied, and we're just glad you're here, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any problems or issues that we can help you with? Anything that you're dealing with that we might be able to help?
I think the only thing for us is we're just continually trying to figure out what the best strategy is to really have a good, well-designed footprint through social media. So, there's a lot of social media coaches out there, and do this, do that, and of course I pay attention mainly to what's in here because I trust you guys. But we're just trying to find our mark and what we think works really well. We're looking at our strengths, which is the client retention. We're strong on that. And the referral, which is fantastic. And, we were good with that, but your program made it even better. And so now we're looking for that piece that allows us to get out social media wise. Because the interesting thing is when we say Facebook to a lot of our clients, the face they make would make you laugh. They don't like that. But yet our demographic that we see, we're told time and time again, they're on Facebook. So we're just kind of in a little bit of a quandary of, kind of where to put the fishing poles in. And then when we do, then we can finally get to how and craft it and so on and so forth.
Got it. Yeah. So I think, from what I've heard, there are a lot of folks up against it. Mike's a good example. I mean, a lot of his folks are on Instagram, and so Facebook is, not necessarily as effective for him. Jeff Tomaszewski, same deal. He deals with an older, more affluent clientele. A good portion of them aren't on Facebook. I think, clearly it'd be nice if there was some relatively simple way to leverage multiple social media at the same time without using automated software for posting, which I'm just not a fan of, only because I think it just diminishes the relationship component of it. It's sort of, people know that it's an automated thing, and I think that diminishes the power of it. But I'm not a huge social media guy, so it'd be interesting to get input from other folks. The point I would like to make, though, is that I think of all the social media out there, Facebook gives you the best chance for success. I agree that, you might find that 50% of your people aren't on it, but I don't think you're going to find another social media that more than 50% of your folks are on and active in, spend time in. So I think you just go with what gives you the best opportunity for success. And in my view, that's Facebook. And so I say that because I mean it, but also because, as you're about to see in a few hours, the Habit Maker Challenge incorporates Facebook substantially. So it might be a real solution for you in terms of your social media needs. And I will just also say, because I just saw Rick clapping, which is great, if you want an awesome example, a case study of how to do this social media stuff, there are two people I would point you at. Number one is Rick and what he's doing right now with the Fit Pro Business Summit. It's just incredible what you've done with on the social, on all aspects, all fronts, but particularly on the social media side, it's really been pretty fantastic. And then, of course, Alicia Strieger, what she's doing with her Facebook group, and I referenced that in the Habit Maker Challenge. So anyway, that's my input on that, Joe. For what it's
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead, bud.
I was going to say that, like Eric was just saying, we had like a lot of our people are on Instagram, but we have been pushing to get them to create. We have a lot of people that are starting to create Facebook accounts because they want to be part of a new private group that we're starting, where we're going to be doing a lot of trying to add and over deliver with a lot of stuff for insiders for a lot of our athletes. So I'm hoping that. Again, I don't have any numbers on it yet because we haven't 100% got it going yet, but we're working on trying to find a way to incentivize our members that are on Instagram to also come on to Facebook, where at least to start that way. And I guess we want to kind of see how that goes. But I know we have a lot of them already that are already starting to create Facebook accounts just so that they can be part of what we're going to be doing behind the scenes, really.
Awesome.
And I think you just hit the nail on the head, Mike. I think if you give them a compelling reason to engage, they will come. They'll show up because it's just so easy, and they know that so many other folks are doing it. And if they have a good reason for being on there, like you're going to provide with your group, I think you're not going to get them all, but you can get a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And I love his point, and that kind of describes, I think, where we're at. I did talk to some of our people, and it's interesting. Their reason for not liking Facebook is there's some kind of distrust. However, they did say, if you create a group, I'll do it. I'll come to that group. Now I'm at the point where he's at, which is I'm trying to think, okay, I want to really deliver some really good content that really says, you know what? I don't like Facebook, but I sure do love being in that group, kind of like how they feel being at our place. So I'm with him, and if I can find that magic sauce that I can put inside that group, I don't doubt that then I'll be okay. We just haven't figured out what we're going to be able to put in there that's going to really resonate and deliver that punch, so to speak.
Well, just wait till you get a look at Habit Maker, and then see if that doesn't resonate with you and answer that conundrum that you're facing. I think it will.
And there are other products out there regarding putting content in that are phenomenal as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Alicia's got some good products with a lot of done-for-you content. There are ways to get a lot of content. What I think is most important, obviously you need to have good content. You can't survive in a group or any without putting good content out there. But the most important component is the engagement. It's getting people to demonstrate that they are involved and engaged with that content. Because no matter how much great stuff you've got on there, if they know there's 500 people in the group and only 27 see a post and there's no likes and no comments and no shares or whatever, it's hard. It's tricky.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And we're right now, our biggest idea is knowing the populations that we work with. We're looking to craft something that is really heavy on specificity. So if it's a group filled with people that are of a certain population, then we want to try and target that information so that we're really only talking about what's relevant to them and not giving generalized stuff. I like Alicia's stuff, but if I put in there, who likes Gatorade, let's say, that's not going to work. For the population I'm talking about, I need something particular, if it's people that, are runners, that they're going to want to hear more about stuff pertaining to that, basically.
Right. And so again, I'm not going to, because I don't want to try and review it here on the call. I'm not going to show that Habit Maker stuff, but take a look at it and see, because I think I agree with what you're saying, but I also think it's the challenge with being very specific to a particular demographic or a particular need, a particular problem. The issue with that is you limit you can get a lot of engagement because it's very targeted and people say, hey, this is exactly what I'm looking for. But the number of people looking for that is not as big. And I think one of the things we want to try and do is balance the need to give them what they want with the need to have as many people as we can. And so, again, I think we might have solved that problem with Habit Maker. And so I'm just teasing it a little bit more, just a little later.
I'm excited to see it. I'm excited.
All right, good.
Before you move on from Joe, let me jump in and say, first of all, when Eric presented the Habit Maker to me, there's not many times I have a visceral excitement. But my God, man, this is going to be incredible. I mean, I get chilled bumps on me right now. This is an amazing piece of think tank this guy put together. But moving beyond that, back to your earlier comment about how to reach out and get people, whether it's Instagram, there's a certain percentage of people who are on that. And in Facebook, there's a certain percentage of people who are on that. And you name any other social media, there's a certain percentage of people on that. But you know where 100% of people reside? Is their mailbox. I want you to let that sink in, right? 100% of people check their mailbox every dang day. And if not every day, at least every couple of days, right? So it's the most underutilized way to take over your market. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I totally agree, and Aaron's referring to your physical mailbox, not your inbox, email inbox. But I totally agree. I'm just such a huge fan of direct mail, but I also recognize how expensive it can be, and now that's it, obviously if things are not generating response. But it takes, and I think direct mail is the best way to do internal marketing. I think externally it can be a little bit challenging, but it's absolutely doable, and it can be huge because if you crack that code, like icing the cake, that was sort of a crack the code type thing. It just freaking flat out works. But it is challenging to get that. I mean, I've been trying ever since I wrote icing the cake to duplicate that, and I've only come really close twice after it, but never to that degree. But yeah, I agree with you. The mailbox, man. Yeah, strong stuff. All right. Okay, Joe, then we're going to move on. Mike, let's jump up to you. What can we help you with? Any issues, or give us an update and let us know if there's anything we can help you with.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much right now. I just wanted to make sure I was on the call today to be part and make sure I'm staying in the loop with everything that's going on. We're rolling out the letters. The letters are rolled out. We're actually going through a little dummy process to make sure we got all our T's crossed and I's dotted. We don't want to make sure that there's going to be no cracks that people can slip through. So we're going through a little dummy process right now of it before we completely roll it out. That's going really well. We've been really busy. I mean, we signed last week and this week, we signed up 7 new annual people for semi-private training, which is a big contract, which is awesome. And we got another 6 scheduled for next week for eval. So it's been really busy on that front. But the new admin is transitioning over really well. I've been actually working on putting together what we talked about last week to put that all into one spot so that it would be to go from there. So, I mean, not really any questions. My concern actually is with when – it's not really a concern, but a question as far as when we roll out not this week, coming up next week, as far as I know we're getting a list of all the local businesses that, kind of are in our area. I want to make sure that I'm squared away and ready to go for that, because I want to make sure I'm ready to jump on board with that right away. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is this whole conversation that Keith Wimsett started and you chimed in on, Mike, about Alignable.
Mm-hmm.
That I checked them out. It's at alignable.com for those of you who aren't familiar with it. It's only they're not nationwide, it seems to me. I think they're in about 30 markets or so.
Yep.
Mike's is one of them. Keith Wimsett's is one of them. I looked at them and I signed up, and it's interesting because I think that there is potentially perfect synergy between Alignable and Local by Referral in this way. can get alignable, it seems to me, is a lot like LinkedIn for local business. So it's a good way for you to find business owners who are already interested in partnering and referring to other businesses. And so you can make some connections that way, and then invite those people to join you in local by referral. So it's actually sort of a sifting and sorting mechanism. So it makes local by referral even more effective and faster. But that's just a little aside. But in terms of local by referral, Mike, if you when we give you access on next week, there will still be, it's still going to be a process. It's not like something that you can start sending people to it, inviting them to take a look at it and whatnot. But we need to get your personal page set up. Have you submitted your information to us yet for that?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember. Where would I have gotten the information from to submit?
Yeah, it would have been in it's going to be in week number 7. It's the referral partnering, week 7. And just look in there, watch that video, and then I give you an outline of the things that I need you to submit to us and how to submit it to us.
Okay.
Build your page.
That's the week that it had like getting all the local businesses, right? Isn't that the week? Or it was like,
yeah,
all right, yeah. So
right.
I definitely watched that. So I don't know. I'm not 100% sure I did, but I'll go back and redo it if I haven't. Let me check.
Yeah, just check and see if you sent. If you sent it, we've got it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah, and then we'll get that built out for you, and then you'll be ready to go with
Awesome.
local by referral. We got it. Yours is already built, but I think you haven't seen. Have you seen? Did you get the link that I sent you, Joe? No. Okay. All right. Yours is done though, so I'll resend that link to you, or you can just go to local by referral / whatever your town name is that you gave me. I forget what it was, and you should be able to see it posted up there. But there's still a couple little tweaks. Yours isn't, it's not ready to use yet, Joe, but it's primarily built out. We still have to, and that's what we're doing next week, is just integrate the back end. So it's all squared away. But definitely we're going to be doing a lot with local by referral, and it's just going to start next week. It's going ahead with that.
Awesome.
All right, cool. Rick, definitely want to hear what's going on in your business, your fitness business, but also would love to hear how the Fit Pro Business Summit is going. So give us an update.
Okay, well, the business part, it's just plugging along. Like, I was excited when I think it was yesterday, maybe I went into the group, Facebook group, and noticed that Aaron said something that Habit Maker is about ready to go or something. So obviously that got me excited. So I made sure I got the 1 o'clock interview up today so I could get on this damn call. Because Aaron got me going when I saw that comment when it was asked. I don't remember who asked it. So that, and apparently I need to get you the information for local by referral, because I know I haven't done it yet. So I'll have to go back and find that in week 7 and get that over to you. But really, I'm excited about that, like I have been all along. And like I said, Aaron's comment just really got me stoked yesterday when I saw it. So I'm pretty thrilled about that.
Awesome.
And just ready to get that going in my business, because I think that's going to be massive in a small town like where I live, what it can do throughout the entire community. So I'm kind of thrilled about that. That's really it as far as the business side right now. I think from the challenges we did, I ended up with 12 or 13 people not continuing from the 49 people that, through those challenges. So pretty happy with that. And, that's pretty good retention there. Had a couple, it was lower before, had a couple that decided after their 7 days that they thought that they didn't take it serious. So I just let them out of it because it's better than having somebody that's not happy there.
Yeah.
As far as the Fit Pro Business Summit, it's really going good. Been getting a lot of good feedback regarding all of the interviews, all the presentations. Obviously, everybody really enjoyed yours, Eric. I know they enjoyed Fred's because he mentioned in another group that we're both in with Pat Rigsby that he got substantial number of opt-ins.
Nice.
So he was pretty happy about that. I know Aaron's presentation goes live tonight at 5 p.m. Central Time. And that one's going to be really good because it talks about, like Aaron was talking about earlier, the emotion and psychology of copywriting. And it kind of goes hand in hand with what he was just showing us and how that gets the emotion going. So I think that one's going to be well received as well. I think I ended up with just over 1,500 people registering
Wow.
for the summit, of which almost 1,100 of them are new contacts for me. So it really substantially built my email list. For basically 3 weeks worth of promoting. So I'm not complaining about that whatsoever.
That's huge. That's huge. Well done.
Yeah. So, and I've learned some things from it, things that I'll do differently next year. Yeah, I did just say that, next year. So I'm already thinking about it. Just things like, I've learned that I can market each of the presenters a little bit better myself, I think, because, they all get busy, all have their own jobs, their own lives. So, I will promote them a little bit harder personally than I did this year. Just things like that, little things that I think would be better in advance of the summit going live, because I think it'll actually increase my registered attendees considerably more. So, but yeah, overall it's been going good. We've got today still, and then tomorrow it wraps up. And then the fun begins on the back end.
Yeah. It's just very cool to watch. And again, my hat's off to you in terms of the way you've managed the entire thing. Saw that you had a technical glitch at one point, but the way you handled that was perfect. And I've been in there, watched quite a few of the videos, and they're all impressive to me. It's rock solid content. It's very educational. It's interesting to hear everybody's different takes on things, and I enjoyed that a lot. But really I started to write this. An email that I've got to get out and a post I'm going to make is about everything that you've done with this, because it's a perfect model of what local by referral is, just on a local level. The way you've brought in partners and got the partners to help you promote this event, grown your list. I would, conservatively estimate that just the list building alone is going to be worth probably 6 figures to you in the near term, over the next year or two, and it's considerably more than that in the long term, because you're good at relationship. So
that's kind of what I'm predicting too, that I think in the first year, it should realistically generate 6 figures. Now it's a matter of me continuing on. I can't drop the ball, obviously.
Right.
And continue to put out good content and honestly repurpose a lot of the information that we have in there.
Yeah.
A lot of that can be repurposed in emails, just going back and listening to interviews again myself, pulling something out and turning it into an email that I can send out to that list, reiterating things that were said, I think is going to be a big part of it. I think I told you that in my nutrition profit system, I'm taking every one of those videos and they're going to be in there for everybody that gets a nutrition profit system. Well, have access to all of those videos forever, because the content is so phenomenal. Everybody has really over delivered, and it was amazing to me how all these top level people in the fitness industry just brought their A game. Every single one of them did. AJ Roberts, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to his but last night, but it was completely different than what anybody else had to talk about, but it opened up a lot of people's minds. I got a lot of emails about it, got a lot of emails, a lot of comments about yours, Alicia Strager's. There's just been phenomenal content. Fred, like I said, people loved his.
Yeah.
Fred was Fred. He just over delivered.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And I did one. There were quite a few that I listened to, as I mentioned, but one that really jumped out at me was the John Spencer Ellis interview, because he spoke at decent length about the importance of partnering and and developing community and playing the long game. Themes that I'm a huge fan of. So I really enjoyed that. But here, last point is that I think what you said, one thing that you said is probably the most important, and I want to reinforce, and that's that you gained experience. You did it, and you learned from it, and you've grown as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and now you're primed and ready to do this next year, probably at 5 times the scale, maybe more, because of everything you've learned this time around.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great learning experience. I would recommend any fitness professional trying to do something like this, maybe on a smaller level, for their local community. Everybody knows several other fitness professionals that they could probably reach out to interview, and do it as a community thing. You'll be amazed at how quickly you can grow your email list, guys. And then as long as you start putting out great content like we were talking about earlier, I think it'll transform local businesses, what I just did to fitness pros, if you just kind of follow the cue. I honestly realized that last night. A big old light bulb came on, like, oh my Lord, this can be done so easily and so well on a local basis, because everybody in this group knows 5, 10, 15, 20 other fitness professionals that they can interview, do a 25, 30-minute interview, and get great content that I guarantee you people in your community would love to listen to.
You know what?
I agree.
And then when you're doing, and think about this, when you're doing it with other fitness professionals around the country, think about how it positions you in your community over everybody else.
Sounds like a info product, Rick.
It's something that I'd sure as hell be willing to help people in this group, do, that's for sure, because it works. And then also think just about the relationships you build with those other trainers too. I mean, the relationships I built that before were pretty much casual relationships or kind of knew each other, that have become so much stronger. John Spencer Ellis is a perfect example. I knew John, he knew me, but we really didn't have a relationship. Now we got a pretty strong working relationship. There's going to be something that comes out of that one way or another. Dax Moy, I hadn't talked to him in 4 or 5 years. And if you listen to his interview tomorrow, folks, it's phenomenal. The guy is brilliant. brilliant. Pat Rigsby, obviously have a strong relationship with Pat, but it just gets stronger every time we do things like this. If you do this, you'll build huge relationships. You're going to set yourself out as an expert in your area. I don't see how you can lose doing it. And it doesn't have to be to the extent that I did, but you still need to do things like this and do it right, because you're going to position yourself as the category of one.
Well said. I concur with that. I think it's an incredibly powerful strategy. There's just so many benefits to it. So anyway, congratulations on all the success. Really have enjoyed being a part of it and watching it unfold and learning from it, and look forward to hearing more stories about the things that you've learned. We got a big storm rolling in, so I hope I don't lose my electricity. It's Florida, man. During the summer in Orlando, it's like something I've never seen anywhere else in my life. I've lived all over the world. The storms that can come in and out of here so quickly with devastating power. It's frightening, some of these lightning strikes that we get. So that's
every day around 3 o'clock.
What's that?
Every day around 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Especially in the summer months. It's
Hey, Rick, I watched a lot of the videos too, man. Awesome job, dude. Really good job.
Thank you. I think there's still good ones to come. There really are. Eric and Aaron, they've had they've been able to get in and see everything because they had access to the membership site. So when Eric was talking about John Spencer Ellis's, you know, he was privy to it. That one is a phenomenal one tomorrow. I mean, and what is really cool, when you pay attention to them all, they're all kind of talking about the same things. Honestly, if you really think about it, they're talking about partnering and leveraging yourself, and they're also talking about building relationships. It's pretty cool. I mean, that everybody, if you really pull out one big thing from the whole summit, that's really what it's about.
And it just goes to show you, I mean, you're talking about a bunch of experienced business owners and what are the key points they want to convey: partnering, relationship building,
That and systems over tactics. Those have been the three big takeaways from this whole thing, if you really pay attention to what everybody is talking about. Systems over tactics, relationships, and like you said, the third one, just, you know, it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, very good. Adrian, we can't see you and you're muted, but if you want to jump in, if you want to share, now's a good time.
Yep, I'm here. I've been here the whole time, just hanging out.
All right, good. So how are things going on your end? I know you posted something about some advice that you wanted. I hadn't read through that post yet, but if it's something you want to discuss today, we can. If not, anything else?
Yeah, it was good. We just had one of our members pass away, actually. And he was like a really well-known fire chief in our community and in surrounding communities too. It's actually a really big deal. And it's actually kind of funny because in our facility, we just knew him as Ed. But now we hear of his passing and how well-known he is. And we're like, holy crap, this guy like did a lot. But it's really amazing. So I asked, because I was asked to go on air about it because some local news channels were trying to honor him and do videos about him. Yeah. And I just didn't know like if it was something I should do or not out of respect because it's my first time doing it. So I posted in the group, Aaron got back to me, and then one of the other members, I forget his name, got back to me too. So we did that and it went pretty well actually. So that was good. And that's still been a process.
Yeah. How did he die, Adrian?
Oh man, he's a fire chief, so he was just on a response call and he was helping out on the side of the highway and another driver lost control and it was bad, like ran into him and then sandwiched him between the two cars and he was pronounced dead on the scene.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's frightening, man. You know, life is a gift. When you hear stories like that, it just reminds you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I think it's good that you stepped up and took, you know, did what you did and spoke about him. I think that's another way for you to learn and grow and share some love.
It was good. And he was really well known for our 6:15 session because he always went to that one. So today we had about, I think it was like 35 people show up to that session today just to work out in honor of Ed.
Wow.
And it got really teary-eyed. It was really sad, actually. It was hard. It was really hard. Like people were like hugging in the middle of the workout between sets, and it was crazy. Yeah, it was a lot. So it was a really good time. It was a really good bonding experience for a lot of people. After the session, there's time because the next one's at 8 a.m. So some people just sat around and just talked for a little bit. So it was pretty nice for them to have that. And it was a good reminder that our facility isn't just a gym, which was very nice that they have the family to be there. It was really nice. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad it was a positive. You made, you know, lemonade out of lemons. So
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And
Adrian, let me just jump in before I let it get away from me. You'll want to have a 1-year anniversary. All right. So you need to make sure that happens 1 year from now. Okay.
Okay.
And secure a workout or create a workout in his honor.
Okay. Yeah.
Great. I mean, great idea. And that's not capitalizing on somebody's misfortune. That's honoring him. And I think that's a great idea. I mean, you just look at like what CrossFit does with the Murph workout, you know, on Veterans Day and things like that. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah. All right. We can. That's nice. Yeah, we can do that. We're trying to find ways to remember him by anyhow, so that helps. actually somebody, she's not even with us anymore. She used to be a client, but she worked out with Ed before. The trauma of it made her take a day off. And in that day off, she actually painted like a portrait to remember him by that we're going to hang up on the wall. So that was really nice.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes to show you, he's clearly a special guy. He brings out that kind of, elicits that kind of response from people. That's saying something.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? Along those lines, Adrian is a special guy.
Exactly.
Got a great heart, this guy.
Thanks.
Yeah. Amen. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. It's challenging dealing with loss, but you grow, move forward. All right. What else is going on?
Yeah, I just, so typically one thing you can know about me is that when an idea comes around, if it doesn't leave my mind in like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks and it keeps coming back to me over and over again, then I always want to keep bringing it up. And I still, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. It's really hard for me to do. And I'm trying to talk to Aaron about it a little bit too. He's been really helpful. So in the fall/winter, so coming up in October, November, we're going to move to a bigger space. And in that time frame, I've been debating if I should leave the franchise that I'm currently in. It's been really hard for me to think about how to do that. I mean, the only reason why, and the main reason why I keep coming back to it is because if they only have a 3-mile radius of territory and it's by zip code, then what's to say that in 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 years there aren't just going to be other ones around, and then it populates, and then they feed off each other unknowingly, and then it's just another place. And the only thing you can compete on at that point is price and location.
Yeah, you're a commodity.
And I don't like the idea of that. So the idea to become my own thing has become more and more, I'm trying to think of the right word, alluring, or I want to do it. I just don't know how, or how to introduce that to my members, or what we can, everything would have to change now to like all the videos we have so far to be redone, which would kind of suck, but I guess would have to be done. It's a huge overhaul. I just don't know how I would introduce that to my members. For example, the questions they may have, why are you doing it? Why would you leave FitBody or whatever? I know my reason, but is that reason enough for them to understand? I don't know.
They'll understand. Their loyalty is to you. It's not to a brand name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People buy people. They invest in people, Adrian. They're not invested in FitBody Boot Camp or Adventure Boot Camp or anything like that. They're invested in you.
Yeah.
Okay. And the fact that you want to rebrand, you just tell them that you think it's time that your business and your brand is true to who you really are. And it's it's different than, what it used to be. And I think everybody will accept that, and they'll be fine with it, because at the end of the day, they didn't come there because of FitBody Boot Camp or whoever. They came there because they felt comfortable with Adrian. So I don't think you'll have a big issue with that personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. And you know what? And a great way I think one of the things that you should absolutely do is really just start writing things down and write out all the reasons why you want to make this switch yourself. And one of them, in terms of explaining it to your clients, can be simply this. It's the evolution of a business owner. It's that you can do things better on your own than you can with your hands somewhat tied by a franchise, regardless of how good that franchise might or might not be. I wouldn't obviously disparage the franchise, but I would say you can do it better, and you know that, and you've learned that, and that's part of your growth as a business owner.
Yeah.
And to Eric's point, it's as easy, Adrian. It's just saying, we want to be in a category of one, don't we? Don't we all?
Yep.
So here we are, and we are being surrounded by everybody calling them the same. And hey, we ain't the same.
Yeah.
It gets back to like what I always say, you can be a category of one or one of the many. Well, if you're a franchise, you are one of many.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of separation there. When you rebrand yourself, and you're going to have to think about how you want to brand it and make sure it goes with who you are, what you want. You know, I'll be honest with you, it may even be worth looking into a branding expert to really make sure you do it right. I'll be honest, I'm doing something like that right now with a couple of my sites, you know, because I want them to portray where my business is now, not where it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, that's an investment in where I'm going. So, you know, you might want to consider something like that, whether you do it yourself or whatever. You know, just make sure that the brand aligns with who you are and what you want to be.
Good,
Yeah.
Great advice, because it's great advice. Now, 2 resources for you regarding that. Number 1 is in our group, John Herringer is right now going through a rebranding process of his physical fitness business, which used to be called, and still to this day is, I believe, Fast Action Training. But he's about to, in the next week or something, relaunch under a new brand. And he's been going through this process for the last year. And
What's
he
his
brought in John Herringer, Heringer. He's in the group. Reach out to him. Great guy. I've known him a long time. And he's, as I said, he's got a substantial business, and he had invested substantially in doing this right. I'm sure he's got a lot of valuable lessons to share. And I wouldn't hesitate, if I were you, to if you're very serious about it, which it sounds like you are, potentially investing a couple $100 to buy some of his time and really get an in-depth explanation, because I'm sure he'll share some tips and things with you, you know, in a post. But if you really want to get down and dirty, pay him for his time. The other resource is Alicia Strieger. She just went through a rebranding process for her online stuff. That's a little bit different, but I know she brought in a branding expert. You might know more about that, Rick.
I'm using the same person that Alicia is right now, actually.
Okay.
Stephanie Joanne is her name, and I'm using the same person. She actually is very good with fitness professionals. She's done several of the higher name fitness professionals, helping them brand their site. And she's really good. And if you decide you don't want to invest in her, as I get a little bit deeper into it, I'm happy to share with you what we are doing. I'm actually on an hour call with her next week, where we're really digging in deep what needs to be done to get mine done. And we're actually fast tracking it because I want it done relatively soon after the summit. I don't want to take a year. So, you know, she's very good. I've really researched it. She is the person that Alicia's using. Matter of fact, if you're in Alicia's group, you can probably go back and see the webinar they did together.
Okay.
I'm using the exact same person that Alicia is, and she is very, very good. I personally think it's reasonably priced for what she's doing for me.
Okay.
So you've got a URL, type that into the chat box, and these guys will have that for a resource if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Her URL?
Yeah, if you've got it. So the important thing, Adrian, is I just would encourage you not to come from a position of fear on this, come from a position of abundance, and just recognize that you are going to make the right choices and you're going to make the right things happen. And I think everybody on this call agrees that you're making a smart choice, because the worst thing in business, there is nothing worse than being a commodity. There's nothing worse.
Yeah. And I mean, it's motivated a little bit by, like, yeah, there's some scarcity in it because I don't want to have all these other places around me. That's frustrating. But it's also been motivated by the fact that like this is just the other day, this is the 4th email I've gotten from a client of the one down the road. And it was actually one of the most sharp-tongued emails we've ever heard from the other location. Like, she described it as an ice-cold experience, is how she described it in her email. Like, the trainers only said hi once. It felt very pressured. It was very intense. And it's like, man, that kind of pisses me off. Like, we're the same name, but like vastly different worlds. And I don't like the fact that, you know, she went there just because she lives closer to that one, and now she's jaded about Fit Body in general because of the crappy experience she happened to have at one facility. You know.
Yeah, and that's a big danger with franchise, you know, because if you don't have a consistent experience throughout, then you're right. You become jaded to the business in general.
It just makes me wonder how, if you get people talking about you like that, how long you stay in business for. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good question. I mean, I'm surprised all the time. Now I'm just like, I try not to be surprised, because the default, it seems, with most businesses is shitty service. I mean, it's rare. The excellent service is the rarity. And that's why if you just, you know, it's like the book, The Slight Edge, which you can all read if you just got to be a little bit better. It's like the story of the two guys running away from the bear, and the one guy stops to put his tennis shoes on. He's like, I don't need to outrun the bear. I just got to outrun you. That's, you know, that's the same thing.
Yeah. And then I had another question too about the timing of it. Is it crucially important if that I need to have this rebrand done by the time I move into the next space, or is it okay if it happens after I move into this bigger space for whatever reason, if the timing doesn't happen the way it should?
Anybody got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, man, the time to rebrand is now. If you're going into a new building, you want that sign up. You don't want to have to be going to the expense of picking out signs and redoing your walls and all that. Now is the time.
Yeah, I would agree with that too, just from a cost and a cost and effort perspective. But I also think it's smart because, you know, when new businesses open up, it attracts attention. You know, and you don't want to be switching in midstream once you've already attracted attention, because it confuses people, and confused people don't buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But Adrian, let me just also reinforce, last thing is just write. Sit down and start writing out everything that you can think of, why you want to leave Fit Body, everything that you get from Fit Body right now. So list out all the benefits you're getting from them, and ensure that you can duplicate those things yourself, because there's probably some things they do for you. I don't know what they are, but you need to figure out what it is, make sure you can duplicate them, and just prepare. And the best way to prepare is through analysis and writing stuff down.
Okay. And then when I am ready to make the announcement, I guess, how should I even introduce that to the clients?
With a lot of excitement and enthusiasm and positive energy. Yeah, like
that's where you're. If you hire a branding expert, they're going to help you with that too.
Yeah,
I'll give you a perfect example. We've got somebody in here writing some copy for me. Our branding for that is going to be based around his copy, whatever he comes up with. If he comes up with a different name for that particular business, we're going to be branding around what he comes up with. Okay. And, you know, just that's what they're going to help you for, though, is they're going to say, okay, here's the next steps to help you, because part of the branding is how you market it, how you get it out there.
Yeah, I agree that it's very worthwhile to consult with experts on that stuff. Just even if you don't use them to implement, you use them as a resource to gain knowledge and consider things that you might not have otherwise considered.
Okay.
Just to make sure all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed.
Got it.
And to Rick's point, that when it comes time for you to move, just don't forget this great quote of the day. Right?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
So they're gonna, they'll fall in if you have the passion. If you're excited about the rebrand, everybody will get excited.
Yeah, it's Joe typed something in up here. I don't know if you saw it, Adrian, but he said, you have the desire to offer a better version of what you have now. Your members will love that. I think that speaks to it exactly on point.
Yeah.
It's exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right.
I think it'll create excitement for your current members. I mean, the whole move and new name, I think it's going to be exciting for them, and they're going to want to talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
So I think I see more positive than negative coming out of it personally.
Yeah. I guess for just one more question I had too, just a detail that I keep thinking about. As far as like how the workouts are structured and things like that, like if we keep it the same, would people still associate with who we were before, or would I have to add new things to change it?
Not at all. Because again, they're buying you, they're not buying them. You're the one performing the workouts, not the franchise.
Yeah.
They're buying you. It gets back to that again. You're not going to have to change anything whatsoever as far as how you're running your workouts and all that. What you're doing is working. If it's not broke, don't break that.
Right. As long as you're getting results for people, that's all that matters. But you will have to wear a tutu. That's involved. I think that's something.
And you have to post the pictures in here so we can see it.
All the things I would do. I'm not going to do that.
I think you could pull it off, Adrian. I think you can do it.
I bet on you.
I can, but I won't.
I think you're blushing, buddy.
I am. Imagine it.
Okay, guys, we got to wrap things up. But listen, thank you all very much. Really appreciate you being on the call today. And like I said, the Habit Maker stuff, it'll probably be a couple hours, but it'll get posted today. I'll send out an email so you can take a look, and we can talk about it on Monday. So have a great weekend.
Thanks,
Thanks, you too.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Thanks.